Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Friday, March 24th, 2023. Today we're going to recap yesterday's Sweet 16 games, look ahead to tonight's Sweet 16 games and Saturday's Elite 8 games. We'll look at the women's Sweet 16 Elite games for the weekend. NBA, NHL, Major League Baseball spring training, soccer, golf, NASCAR, center field and DH rankings for the baseball season, news and notes, and best bet. We'll start with college basketball, Sweet 16. We'll go over last night's results and look ahead to tonight and Saturday's Elite 8 games. East Region Sweet 16 may be the game of the tournament so far from the Garden. 3-seed Kansas State over 17 Michigan State 98-93 in overtime to advance to the Elite 8. West Region Sweet 16, 4-seed UConn over 8-seed Arkansas, 88-65. East Region Sweet 16, 9-seed FAU upsets 4-seed Tennessee, 62-55. And West Region Sweet 16, number 3 Gonzaga over 2 UCLA, 79-76, in what was a classic game as well. This might have been the game of the tournament too, as Gonzaga's Julian Strawweather hits the go-ahead three-pointer to give Gonzaga the win. All right, 6:30 on TBS tonight. 5-seed San Diego State, 1-seed Alabama, South Region from the KFC Yum Center. If I had to assume, I'm going to say this is Ian Eagle and Jim Spinarkle on the call. I project Bama 2 3/4, total 142.5. And Bama in this game is favored by 7.5, total 137.5. So I have a 5-point edge on the over and a less than 5-point edge on San Diego State. So I'm going to give out the over again on the podcast. But I would throw San Diego State, maybe even a sprinkle on the money line in like a round robin of underdogs. 7:15 CBS Midwest Region from T-Mobile Center and Kansas City. 5-seed Miami, 1-seed Houston. Jim Nance, Bill Rafferty and Grant Hill on the call. I project Houston 6 3/4, so 141 and a tenth, and it's 7.5 and 138.5. I'm going to take the over. I also would take Houston on like some sort of big adjusted line as well, because I have a big Miami 100-1 future. So I would probably take Houston up to like 5.5 and then put that with like a couple of other favorites or something. 9 o'clock TBS South Region Sweet 16 from KFC Yum in Louisville. 15-seed Princeton, 6-seed Creighton. Ian Eagle, Jim Sparkle on the call. I project Creighton 10 3/4, so I'm 43 and 19/20. Creighton's one of the money lines I would throw in that hypothetical parlay, but I can't do that because New Jersey. So if I had to make that parlay bet with Creighton in it, I would have to go to Pennsylvania to do that. Creighton's favored by 10.5, totals 140.5. I'll take the over here too. For the pick, I think Princeton's ride comes to an end against a Creighton team that is coming together, it seems like. In the last of 4 Sweet 16 games tonight, 9:45 CBS, 3-seed Xavier, 2-seed Texas, Midwest Region, Jim Nance, Bill Rafferty, and Grant Hill on the call. I project Texas 3 1/4, total 150. And it's 4.5 and 149.5. I do a slight lean to Xavier plus the points. I have a half-point edge on the over, and I have a 1.25 edge on Xavier, so slight lean to Xavier. And then Elite Eight, 6 o'clock TBS, East Region from the Garden, 9 seed FAU, 3 seed Kansas State. On the call this game will be Brian Anderson and Jim Jackson, I think, is his partner for the tournament. I could be wrong there. I believe it's Jim Jackson. If I'm not mistaken, yes, it is Jim Jackson, his partner. I project Florida Atlantic by 4, total 144 and a 10th, and it is Kansas State 1.5, total 144.5. I'm taking my boys FAU plus 1.5 and plus 106. Gee, I wish I put a future on them to win that region. That would have been better than parlaying the money lines for Florida Atlantic. Or it might have been even. So I gotta go with FAU plus the 1.5 and plus 106 to go to the Final Four and win the East Region. And 8:49 on TBS, West Region Elite 8, 4 seed UConn, 3 seed Gonzaga on TBS. It's going to be Kevin Harlan, Stan Van Gundy, and Dan Bonner on the call. I project Gonzaga 4.5, total 151 3/4, and it's UConn 2.5, total 153.5. Yikes. Why is UConn favored? This game's not at Madison Square Garden. This game's in Vegas. Gonzaga has a home court advantage. I would understand if this game was at Madison Square Garden for UConn to be favored. They don't deserve to be favored. Give me Gonzaga plus the points and plus 108 to win this game outright. And then the Elite Eight on Sunday, Alabama-Houston would just be insanely epic. A line projection for that would look like Houston by 1 3/4 over Alabama. And then on the other side, I'm going to say it's Creighton and Texas, but I do not feel strong about that one. That projection would be Texas 5 1/4 over Creighton. So I'm going to say the Final Four is, I completely whiffed on that. It would be Bama, Creighton, and Houston, Texas. I can't believe I just did that. I just looked ahead to a Final Four line. Sorry, guys. All right, so Bama, Creighton would make more sense. So that would come to Bama by 8 over Creighton. And Houston by 5 over Texas. So those lines would be a little bigger. So it would be Houston against Texas, Creighton versus Bama. So it would be Bama, Houston, Florida Atlantic, Gonzaga is who I think will be in the Final Four. All right, now we'll move on to the women's side. Can't believe I completely botched some projections there. Like looking at the potential Final Four matchups. So, Sweet 16 for the women's begins tonight. or today, 2:30 on ESPN. Greenville 2. 19 Miami, 4 seed Villanova. Villanova's a 4.5-point favorite. I would lay the points of Villanova. 5 o'clock ESPN, 3 seed LSU, 2 seed Utah. Greenville 2. LSU is a 3.5-point favorite. Looks like it went up to 4.5, and the total's 150.5. I take Utah getting the points, and then I lay Villanova. 7:30 ESPN, 6 seed Colorado, 2 seed Iowa, Seattle 4. So this is Caitlin Clark's team. Their favorite 5.5 totals 145.5. I take the over, and then 10 o'clock ESPN tonight. 8 seed Ole Miss, 5 seed Louisville from Seattle. It's the Seattle 4 region. Louisville's favorite 2.5 totals 126.5. I'll take the over. That's a low total. And then Saturday, 11:30 on ESPN, 3 seed Notre Dame, 2 seed Maryland. It's the Greenville 1 region. Maryland's favorite 4.5 totals 137.5. That's too high. Give me Notre Dame plus the points. 2 o'clock ESPN, 4 seed UCLA, 1 seed South Carolina. It's Greenville 1. South Carolina's 16.5 totals 127.5. Give me UCLA plus the points. That's a lot of points. 4 o'clock on ABC, Seattle 3. 3 seed Ohio State, 2 seed UConn. UConn's favorite 10.5 totals 145.5. Give me Ohio State plus the points. That's a lot of points. And then 6:30 on ESPN 2, 4 seed Tennessee, 1 seed Virginia Tech. Tennessee's a 4.5-point favorite. Totals 138.5. Is that Vegas knows? I don't know. Give me Virginia Tech plus the 1.5 and minus 108 to win outright. And then potential Elite 8 games. So Greenville would be Utah, Villanova, I would say. And I think Villanova can beat them. And then Iowa and Louisville. I think Caitlin Clark gets to the Final Four. All right, now move on to the NBA. We'll recap the games from last night and look ahead to tonight and the weekend. Cavs over the Nets, 116-114. Magic over the Knicks, 111-106. Pelicans over the Hornets, 115-96. And the Clippers over the Thunder, 127-105. As best bet turns out to be a loser. All right, tonight, 7 o'clock, NBA TV, Pacers, Celtics. I have Celtics 11.5 total, 232 and the 20th. And it's 12 and 234.5. I'll take a slight under. Spurs, Wizards. My line's Wizards by 3, total 230 and 7/20. And it's 8 and 228. I'm going to take the Spurs getting the 8. 7:30, Pistons, Raptors. I have Raptors 14 and 3/4, total 227.25. And it's 14 and 224. I'll take the over. Rockets, Grizzlies at 8. My line's Grizzlies 15, total 228 and 13/20. And it's 13.5 and 233.5. I'll take the under. 8:30, Hornets, Mavs. My line's Mavs 13 and 3/4, total 227 and 9/10. And it's 14.5 and 227.5. Very close. I'll take a slight lean to Charlotte plus the points. 9 o'clock, Bucks, Jazz. My line's the Bucks 9 3/4, total 231 and 13/20. And it's 9 and 236.5. I'll take the under because the Jazz have some injuries. 10 o'clock, NBA TV, Sixers, Warriors. Great game. My line Sixers by 4, total 231. And it's Warriors 5.5. Is Embiid not playing? Because if Embiid's playing, that's bullshit. There's no way that the Golden State Warriors should be favored over the Sixers unless if Joel Embiid is not playing. So, they're both questionable against the Warriors. As Embiid has a calf injury. So in case they're playing, I'm going to take the Sixers getting the points and plus 190 outright. Bulls, Blazers. My line is the Bulls, 2.5 total, 228 and a 10th. And it's 3 and 226.5. I'll take a slight over. Suns, Kings. My line is the Kings 14, total 232 and a quarter. And we got 4 and 239. I love Sacramento minus the points. No Durant. No Ayton. That's so low. I love Sacramento minus the points in that game. And 10:30 Thunder Lakers. I have Thunder by 3. No LeBron. Total 233.5. And it's Lakers 5.5. Total 232. Like, is LeBron playing? Give me the Thunder plus 5.5 and plus 184 to win the game outright. All right, Saturday 5 o'clock. Pacers Hawks. 8 o'clock Nets Heat. 9 o'clock NBA TV Bucks Nuggets. 10 o'clock Sixers Suns. Jazz Kings. 10:30 Pelicans Clippers. Then Sunday, 1 o'clock, Mavs, Hornets, 3:30 Bulls, Lakers, 6 o'clock NBA TV, Grizz, Hawks, Spurs, Celtics, Rockets, Cavs, Nets, Magic, Wizards, Raptors, 7 o'clock, Thunder, Blazers, and 8:30 NBA TV. You have the Timberwolves and the Warriors. Alrighty, now move on to hockey. We'll go over the results from yesterday and look ahead to tonight and the weekend. Rangers over the Canes, 2-1. Flyers over the Wild, 5-4 shootout. Bruins over the Habs, 4-2. Blues over the Red Wings, 4-3. Leafs over the Panthers, 6-2. Sens over the Lightning, 7-2. Caps over the Blackhawks, 6-1. Preds over the Kraken, 2-1 shootout. Golden Knights over the Flames, 3-2. Stars over the Pens, 3-2. Jets over the Ducks, 3-2. Canucks over the Sharks, 7-2. All right, 7 o'clock, Devils, Sabres. Tonight, Devils minus 182, Sabres plus 150, over under 6.5, overs minus 142, unders plus 116, Devils minus 1.5 is plus 128, Sabres plus 1.5 is minus 154. Where things stand right now, the Devils are 2 back of Carolina. They can tie him here with the win. Sabres have been feisty all year. So I'm going to go with first period. Result, 3-way Devils plus 135. NHL Network, Isles, Blue Jackets. Isles minus 96, Blue Jackets plus 162, over under 6.5. Overs minus 102, unders minus 120. Isles minus 1.5 is plus 125. Columbus plus 1.5 is minus 150. The Columbus is really bad. I'm going to lay the puck line with the Islanders, who need the game, with Pittsburgh winning at Colorado. And where things stand right now, are they the team out? No, Florida is. But Pittsburgh passed them with the win over the Avs the other night. And then 9 o'clock, Coyotes, Avs. Avs minus 465. Arizona plus 340. Over under 6.5. Overs even money. Unders minus 122. Arizona plus 1.5 is plus 140. Colorado minus 1.5 is minus 170. I'm going to go over 6.5 at even money. Saturday, 1 o'clock, NHL Network. Lightning, Bruins. Red Wings, Flyers. 2 o'clock, Kraken, Preds. 4 o'clock, Sharks, Flames. Jets, Kings. 5 o'clock, Rangers, Panthers. Blackhawks, Wild. ESPN plus Hulu, Sabres, Islanders. 7 o'clock, Leafs, Canes. Canucks, Stars. Blue Jackets, Habs. Sens, Devils. Saturday primetime on ABC, Capitals, Penguins. So the Penguins in Saturday primetime for the second week in a row. This time they're home in a game they absolutely have to have. And then 10 o'clock, Golden Knights, Oilers. And 10:30, the Blues and the Ducks. Sunday, 3 o'clock on the NHL Network, Avs, Coyotes. 5 o'clock, Bruins, Canes. 6 o'clock, Canucks, Blackhawks. NHL Network, Leafs, Preds. And 10:30 of the Blues and the Kings. All right, spring training. We'll go over the results from yesterday and look ahead to today and the weekend. Yanks and Cardinals 1-1 tie. Red Sox over the Pirates 7-4. Mets Braves 2-2 tie. Blue Jays over the Twins 3-0. Phils over the Tigers 4-1. Cubs over the D-backs 11-1. Giants over the White Sox 6-3. D-backs over the Dodgers 11-5. Brewers over the Padres 4-2. Padres over the Royals 6-3. Tigers Orioles 8-8 tie. Astros over the Nats 5-4. Guardians over the Giants 10-0. A's Rangers 7-7 tie. Mariners over the Reds 17-6. All right, today's games. 1 o'clock, Twins Yankees. Mets Rays. 4 o'clock, White Sox A's. Brewers Dodgers. Giants Royals. Rangers Cubs. Reds Diamondbacks. Rockies Brewers. Padres Angels. 6 o'clock, Braves Red Sox. Yankees Orioles. So the Yankees get a split squad. Cards Nats. Pirates Tigers. Phillies Blue Jays on ESPN Plus. 6:30 Astros Marlins. 9 o'clock Cubs Guardians. And 9:40 A's Mariners. Saturday 1 o'clock Yanks Phils. Braves Twins. Red Sox Rays. Marlins Cardinals. Twins Braves. 3 o'clock Royals Dodgers. Brewers A's. Padres Rangers. Cubs Angels. 4 o'clock Mariners Giants. D-backs Mariners. So the Mariners have a split squad on Saturday. 6 o'clock Orioles Pirates. Astros Nats. Tigers Jays. Cardinals Mets on ESPN Plus. 9 o'clock White Sox Reds. And Guardians Rockies. Sunday 1 o'clock on ESPN. We skipped one. 11 o'clock a.m. Cardinals Astros. 1 o'clock ESPN Plus. Jays Yankees. Twins Red Sox. Phils Orioles. Pirates Braves. Rays Tigers. Nats Marlins. 4 o'clock Reds Guardians. Rockies White Sox. Royals Cubs. Giants A's. Marlins Mets. D-backs Brewers. Reds Rockies. So the Rockies have a split squad. Mariners Padres. And 9 o'clock Angels Dodgers. All right, soccer. We'll go over soccer results from yesterday, and we have a little bit more soccer this weekend, including MLS. So that is pretty exciting. So international friendlies from yesterday. New Zealand, China, 0-0 draw. Solomon Islands over Vanuatu 2-0. Hong Kong and Singapore 1-1 draw. Malaysia over Turkmenistan 1-0. Iran, Russia 1-1 draw. Hungary over Estonia 1-0. Argentina over Panama 2-0. And then this morning, Tahiti over New Caledonia 2-1. Australia over Ecuador 3-1. Japan, Uruguay 1-1 draw. South Korea, Colombia 1-1 or 2-2 draw. 2 o'clock, we have Uzbekistan and Bolivia. Trying to find it here. Uzbekistan's plus 105, Bolivia's plus 250. And the draw is plus 210. I'm going to go with Uzbekistan at plus 105. 3 o'clock, you have Kuwait and the Philippines. Kuwait's minus 310, Philippines 7-1, draws plus 380. Kuwait's just better. I'm going to go with under 2.5 goals at plus 104. And in Saudi Arabia and Venezuela, Venezuela plus 180, Saudi Arabia plus 160, draw plus 180. I'm going to go Venezuela plus 180 on the road. And then all those Saturday games, we're not going to give out picks, or Sunday, just today's games. Bahrain and Palestine at 7 a.m. as well as Bangladesh and Seychelles, 8:15. Bhutan and Laos, 8:30. Myanmar and Kyrgyz Republic, 9:30. In Indonesia and Burundi, 10 o'clock. Georgia and Mongolia. Kenya and Burundi canceled, 2 o'clock. Syria and Thailand. UAE and Tajikistan, 3:45. Germany and Peru, 6 o'clock. Morocco, Brazil, and 11 o'clock. New Zealand, China. Sunday, 1 o'clock. Fiji and Solomon Islands, and 12 o'clock. Russia, Iraq. And by the way, Fiji, Solomon Islands is at 1 o'clock a.m. And then Monday, we have games, but they are in the afternoon, so we can hit on them on the podcast on Monday. The European Championship League qualifying results from yesterday. Slovenia over Kazakhstan 2-1. Denmark over Finland 3-1. England over Italy 2-1. Portugal over Liechtenstein 4-0. North Macedonia over Malta 2-1. North Ireland over San Marino 2-0. Slovakia and Luxembourg 0-0 draw. And Bosnia Herz over Iceland 3-0. All right, today 1 o'clock you have Bulgaria and Montenegro. Bulgaria is plus 170. Montenegro is plus 180. The draw is 2-1. I'm going to go with Bulgaria plus 170. 3:45, Moldova and Faroe Islands. Right here we have them. Moldova plus 150. Faroe Islands plus 195. Draws plus 210. I think Moldova's due. I'm going to take them plus 150. Gibraltar and Greece. Greece is minus 1450. Gibraltar is 31-1. The draw is plus 190. I'm going to go over 3.5 goals at plus 108. Czech Republic and Poland. Czech Republic's plus 130. Poland's 2-1. Draws plus 230. I'm going to go with the draw plus 230. Serbia and Lithuania. Serbia is minus 1250. Lithuania is 29-1. The draw is 8-1. I'm going to go with over 3.5 goals at minus 118. Sweden and Belgium. Sweden's plus 250. Belgium's plus 105. Draws plus 230. I'm going to go with Sweden at plus 250. I love it. Austria and Azerbaijan. Austria is minus 420. Azerbaijan's 10-1. Draws plus 490. I'm going to go with under 2.5 goals at plus 106. And last but not least, France and Netherlands. France minus 155. Netherlands plus 380. Draws plus 310. I'm going to go over 2.5 goals at minus 116. All right, Saturday, 10 o'clock, Scotland and Cyprus, 1 o'clock, Armenia, Turkey, Belarus, and Switzerland, Israel, Kosovo, 3:45, Croatia, Wales, Andorra and Romania, Spain, Norway, and then Sunday, Kazakhstan, Denmark at 9:12 o'clock, Slovenia, San Marino, Liechtenstein and Iceland, England, Ukraine, 2:45, Slovakia and Bosnia Herz, Luxembourg and Portugal, Malta, Italy, and North Ireland and Finland for the qualifying for the European Championship. All right, now the CONCACAF Nations League. So League A. Today, 8 o'clock on TNT, you have Grenada and USA. Grenada's 50-1. The draw's 14-1. The USA's minus 3,500. I'm going to go under 3.5 goals at plus 106. All right, Saturday, 7 o'clock, you have Martinique, Costa Rica. At 7 at 9, you have Curacao and Canada. And then Sunday is Mexico and Jamaica. All right, League B. 4 o'clock, you have Bahamas and Trinidad and Tobago. Trinidad and Tobago minus 650. Bahamas 1,500. Draw 650. I'm going to go with under 2.5 goals at plus 134. 8 o'clock, Nicaragua and St. Vincent. Nicaragua's 10 minus 1,000. St. Vincent and Grenades is 23-1. The draw is 7-1. I'm going to go with over 3.5 goals at plus 128. And at 10 o'clock, you have Belize and Guatemala. Guatemala is minus 390. Belize is 9-1. The draw is 470. I'm going to go with under 2.5 goals at plus 110. All right, Saturday, 2 o'clock, Bermuda and Guyana. 5 o'clock, Montserrat and Haiti. Sunday, 3 o'clock, Cuba and Guadeloupe. And Antigua, Barbuda, and Barbados. All right, League C. Today, 3 o'clock, you have Anguilla and St. Lucia. St. Lucia is minus 290. Anguilla is 7-1. The draw is plus 420. I'm going to go over 3.5 goals at plus 144. Saturday, 3:30, Turks and Caicos and U.S. Virgin Islands. And 4 o'clock, St. Martin and Bonaire. And then Sunday at 6 o'clock, you have Puerto Rico and the Cayman Islands. Mexican Liga tonight, 11:05, you have Mazatlan and Leon. Leon's minus 125. Mazatlan's 3-1. The draw's plus 270. Leon might be thrown into that random money line I'm gonna have going tonight. I'm gonna go under 2.5 goals at minus 110. All right, and now Major League Soccer. Big slate. 4:30 Portland and the Galaxy, 7:30 Charlotte Red Bulls, 7:30 Columbus Atlanta, DC United New England, Miami Chicago, Philly Orlando, Austin Colorado, Houston NYCFC, Minnesota Vancouver, Nashville Cincinnati. So the last 4 games I lifted off was all at 8:30. Kansas City Seattle, 9:30 Salt Lake St. Louis, 10:30 LAFC Dallas, and San Jose Toronto. All right, now move on to golf. I'm going to go over the current leaderboard for the Punta Cana Championship. And right now on top of the score of 7 under is Matt Wallace. Tied for second with 6 under, Bryce Garnett, Matthias Schwab, Tyler Duncan, Tomas Dietrich, Ben Martin, and Ashke Bahita. Tied for 8th with 5 under, Brent Grant, Ricky Barnes, and Michael Kim. Tied for 11th with 4 under, Max McGreevy, Dylan Wu, Victor Norman, Scott Stevens, Sung Koon Kang. Tied for 16th with 3 under. We're just going to go through notables now because of time. Matt Trainer, Doug Evan Ryan, Wyndham Clark, D.A. Points, Alex Baddeley, Austin Cook, Mark Hubbard, MJ Daffé, Harry Hall, Austin Eckroat. Tied for 29th with 2 under, Tyson Alexander, Scott Harrington, Andrew Novak, Scott Brown, Sean O'Hara, Henrik Norlander, Grayson Chalmers, Joel Dahman, Kelly Craft, Harry Higgs, Scott Stallings. Tied for 40th at 1 under, Camilo Vegas, Kevin Tway, Emiliano Grillo, Chad Ramey, Jonathan Bird, Michael Giljic, Nate Hardy, Paul Haley, Kevin Westmoreland. Tied for 55th at even, Jason Duffner, Brian Sword, Wesley Bryan, Emiliano Goya, Hank Lebiota. Tied for 68th with 1 over, Cam Young, Cam Piercy, Ben Crane, Tied for 76 with 2 over. Justin Lowder, Scott Piercy, Charlie Hoffman, Russell Knox, Jason Hadley. Tied for 87th with 3 over. Richie Wierenski, Grayson Murray, Harrison Endicott, Patrick Rogers. Tied for 96 with 4 over. DJ Tran, Matthias Schmid. Tied for 1/16th with 7 over. Bo Van Pelt, Ryan Moore. And tied for 1/19th with 12 over. Kevin Stradler. So, and then we'll do the Dell Match Play leaderboard. As of right now, round 3, Group 4, Kyung-Hoo Lee, 2 up through 7, leads Nick Taylor. Patrick Cantlay and Brian Harmon go off at 10:50. Group 9, Adam Svevson, 5 up through 7, leads over Victor Perez. Colin Morikawa and Jason Day come up at 11:01. Group 8, Victor Hovland, Chris Kirk tied through 5. Saiwoo Kim and Matt Kuchar 11:12. Group 3, Denny McCarthy leads Scott Stallings 1 up through 4. Rory McIlroy, Keegan Bradley 1:13. Group 12, Jordan Spieth leads Shane Lowry 2 up through 4. Taylor Montgomery and Mackenzie Hughes tied through 2. Group 5, Max Homa, Hideki Matsuyama, con final as Max Homa wins. Kevin Kisner leads Justin Suh 1 up through 1. Group 13, Sam Burns, Seamus Power tied. Adam Scott, Adam Hadwin 10:39. Group 16, Sanjay M, Tommy Fleetwood 11:23. JT Potts and Maverick McNeely 1:34. Group 1, Scotty Scheffler, Tom Kim 11:45. Alex Noren, Davis Riley 11:56. Group 11, Matt Fitzpatrick, Susie Thigler 12:07. Minwoo Lee, JJ Spawn 12:18. Group 6, Xander Schauffele, Tom Hogue 12:29. Aaron Weiss, Cam Davis 12:40. Group 14, 12:51. Tyrell Hatton, Russell Henley, Lucas Herbert, Ben Griffin 102. Group 10, 124. Tony Finau and Kurt Katayama 135. Adrian Murdoch and Christian Ziedenhout. Group 7, 146. Ryan Fox, Will Zalatoris, and 157. Harry English and Andrew Putnam. Group 15, 208. Cam Young, Sepp Straka. 219. Corey Connors, Davis Thompson. And Group 2, John Rahm and Billy Herschel 230 and 241. Keith Mitchell and Ricky Fowler. And I want to do round 2 results because I didn't get to them. Group 15, Cam Young 1 up over Corey Connors final. Davis Thompson wins 4-3 final over Sepp Straka. Group 2, John Rahm wins 4-3 over Keith Mitchell. Billy Horschel wins 3-2 over Ricky Fowler. Group 12, Taylor Montgomery wins 2-1 over Jordan Spieth, and Mackenzie Hughes wins 4-3 over Shane Lowry. Group 5, Max Homa wins 3-2 over Kevin Kisner, and Justin Suh wins 3-1 over Hideki Matsuyama. Group 13, Sam Burns wins 1 up over Adam Scott. Seamus Power wins 1 up over Adam Hadwin. Group 4, Patrick Cantlay wins 4-2 over Kyung-Hoo Lee, and Brian Harmon wins 3-2 over Nick Taylor. Group 9, Colin Morikawa and Adam Svevson tied, and Jason Day wins 2-1 over Victor Perez. Group 8, Saiwoo Kim wins 4-3 over Victor Hovland, and Chris Kirk and Matt Kuchar tied. Group 16, JT Potts wins 1 up over Sanjay M. Tommy Fleetwood and Matt McNeely tied. Group 1, Scotty Scheffler wins 5-4 over Alex Noren, and Davis Riley wins 1 up over Tom Kim. Group 11, Matt Fitzpatrick wins 2-1 over Minwoo Lee. JJ Spawn wins 5-4 over C. Thiglia. Group 6, Xander Schauffele wins 2-1 over Aaron Weiss, and Cam Davis wins 3-1 over Tom Hogue. Group 14, Lucas Herbert wins 2-1 over Tyrell Hatton, and Russell Henley wins 5-4 over Ben Griffin. And Group 3, Rory McIlroy wins 2 up over Denny McCarthy, and Keegan Bradley wins 6-5 over Scott Stallings. All right, now move on to NASCAR. We'll make picks for the weekend's races. They'll be racing from Circuit of the Americas, which is in Austin. So 1 o'clock tomorrow, the trucks will be racing. Should be a lot of fun. So a lot of these drivers have come along nicely as the season has gone on. There's one driver that jumps out to me at 20-1. His name is Ben Rhodes. I am going to pick him to win the XPEL 225. He is 20-1 to win this race. I'm going to lay a fifth of a unit per pick today. All right, Xfinity tomorrow on Fox Sports 1 at Circuit of the Americas. Austin Hill's been on quite a ride. There's a driver that has come along really nicely over the past several weeks. Pit Boss 250 is this race. I can't find this particular driver. Is that a bad sign? That I can't find the driver I want to pick to win the race? Because he's had 2 top 3 finishes in the last several weeks. Is there any other driver bet? Because that'd be kind of funny. The driver I want to pick is Ryan Truex. But I can't find him on the board. He came in second 2 weeks ago. He came in third last week. He's been hot. He's been riding as well as anybody has of late. And so instead, I'm going to go with 30-1 with Josh Berry, who's also has been racing well of late. 5th place finish in Vegas. 5th place finish at California. There's some value there. So 30-1, Pit Boss 250, we go with Josh Berry. And then the Cup race, which is Sunday 3:30 on Fox from the Circuit of the Americas. I had a bad beat last week. I had Brad Keselowski at a good number, and Joey Logano passed him on the final lap to win the race. So be it. This was a tough one to pick, but there's a driver that's been racing very well this season so far, and I want to see what his odds are to win the Echo Park Automotive Grand Prix 2023. He's 15-1. I'm going to go with Chris Bell to win this race at 15-1. Not the number I wanted, but a decent number nonetheless. All right, now we'll do center field rankings for the Major League Baseball season. You know the drill, 30-1, as I did each and every ranking so far. 30 is Esteury Ruiz, Athletics. 29, Kyle Isbell, Royals. 28, Miles Straw, Guardians. 27, Leody Taveras, Rangers. 26, Jonathan Daza, Rockies. 25, Trace Thompson, Dodgers. 24, Chase McCormick, Astros. 23, Kevin Kiermaier, Blue Jays. 22, Alek Thomas, Diamondbacks. 21, Jose Siri, Rays. 20, Victor Robles, Nationals. 19, Nick Senzel, Reds. 18, Brandon Marsh, Phillies. 17, Adam Duvall, Red Sox. 16, Garrett Mitchell, Brewers. 15, Mike Yastrzemski, Giants. 14, Harrison Bader, Yankees. 13, Trent Grisham, Padres. 12, Riley Green, Tigers. 11, Cody Bellinger, Cubs. 10, Jazz Chisholm Jr., Marlins. 9, Cedric Mullins, Orioles. 8, Tyler O'Neill, Cardinals. 8, Brendan Nimmo, Mets. 6, Michael Harris II, Braves 5. Luis Robert, White Sox 4. Byron Buxton, Twins 3. Brian Reynolds, Pirates 2. Julio Rodriguez, Mariners, and number 1. Mike Trout, Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Trout's number 1 on this list yet again. I think the top 6 is easily the top 6. No changing the order. Or, not the order, but who's in and out of the top 6. You could argue on the order. And then Nimmo got the big contract. Tyler O'Neill's getting better by the year. Cedric Mullins, I think, isn't as bad as he was from a production standpoint last year, but he isn't as good as he was 2 years ago. I like Jazz Chisholm. He's a fast player. I think he'll do well in center field. Cody Bellinger, I think, could have a resurgence on the Cubs. Riley Green, I think, could have a breakout year on the Tigers. Trent Grisham, really solid center fielder. Him, Harrison Bader, and Mike Yastrzemski all belong in that same tier, in my opinion. Garrett Mitchell, very solid player for the Brewers. So center field is not top heavy, but there's some decent players on this list. And now the DH rankings. As we will do that now. All right, number 30, Jake Fraley, Reds. 29, Nick Gordon, Twins. 28, Kyle Stowers, Orioles. 27, Nolan Gorman, Cardinals. 26, Matt Carpenter, Padres. 25, Charlie Blackmon, Rockies. 24, A.J. Pollock, Mariners. 23, Mitch Garver, Rangers. 22, Harold Ramirez, Rays. 21, Carlos Santana, Pirates. 20, Miguel Cabrera, Tigers. 19, Jesus Aguilar, A's. 18, Travis d'Arnaud, Braves. 17, Joey Meneses, Nats. 16, Franmil Reyes, Royals. 15, Brandon Belt, Blue Jays. 14, Jesse Winker, Brewers. 13, Jock Peterson, Giants. 12, Lourdes Gurriel Jr., D-backs. 11, Daniel Vogelbach, Mets. 10, Trey Mancini, Cubs. 9, Justin Turner, Red Sox. 8, Josh Bell, Guardians. 7, Nicholas Castellanos, Phillies. 6, Giancarlo Stanton, Yankees. 5, J.D. Martinez, Dodgers. 4, Jorge Soler, Marlins. 3, Eloy Jimenez, White Sox. 2, Yordan Alvarez, Astros. And number 1, if there wasn't any doubt, Shohei Ohtani, Los Angeles of Anaheim. The top 2 is easy, in that order. 3 through 6, you could argue any order. You can make a case Stanton should be 3rd. You can make a case Jimenez should be 6th. But I think this is how it ultimately will play out. Stan has some injury issues throughout the years. And then he sometimes is just too streaky. JD Martinez is a solid hitter. Soler, I'm skeptical with him in the 4th spot, but I do think that he'll mash a lot in his road games in D.C. and at Citi Field, and especially in Philly. So sometimes NL East players get that bump because of their road stats. And Jimenez, I think, has a ton of upside. And even that next group of guys, down to even number 13, 14, you could argue any order between 7 and 14 even. DH is deep this year. And even someone like Jesus Aguilar isn't that terrible. He's 19. So DH, I think, is a super deep position this year, believe it or not. All right, now we'll move on to the news and notes for today. Awful news for the Philadelphia Phillies as Rhys Hoskins was carted off in a spring training game after fielding a grounder non-contact injury, and it turns out that he has a torn ACL. Just brutal for the Phillies. Now they're down Rhys Hoskins and Bryce Harper. They have to make a trade for a first baseman. There's going to be a lot of guys available at the deadline. Or do you move Schwarber to first base and get a left fielder? Or you do some chicanery and maybe, do they have the assets to get Ohtani? If they get Ohtani, they're the team to beat in Major League Baseball. Could they somehow pull off an Ohtani trade and give up? I know Andrew Painter's hurt, but you could trade and replace him in a way, and then trade whoever else is left in front. Maybe throw Bryson Stott in the deal, and then you can get Ohtani and David Fletcher in the deal. Like, that would just be money if Philadelphia found the way to pull that off. But that puts them in the trade market for another bat. And really at any position, because they could conceivably move Castellanos or even Schwarber to first base, and then that could open DH up for somebody. Although there are a team full of DHs, as I like to say. The Yankees yet again tops the Forbes list with a $7.1 billion valuation. That's no surprise. Bad news for the St. Louis Cardinals, as Adam Wainwright is out several weeks with a groin injury. Not great for St. Louis. Wainwright kind of revitalized his career a little bit, and then obviously he was in the World Baseball Classic. Some basketball news is that LeBron James is pushing to return for the Lakers' final 3 games of the season against the Clippers, Sun, and Jazz. And then LeBron refutes the earlier reports that he'd be back for the Lakers' final 3 games. He goes, "God bless y'all's sources," which is funny. Gary Payton II can return on Sunday against the Wolves. So that's good news for the Warriors from a depth standpoint. A lot of college basketball stuff. Marquise Noel had a legendary performance, as we know, and all the big names are shouting him out on Twitter. Division II coach Ferris State's Tony Ines suspended 1 game because 2 players lit cigars after their national title win in December. Yikes. Why would the coach get punished for that? Like, if the kids come back, they should be punished. Unless if the coach was doing that too. Juwan Howard's son, Jet Howard, declares for the draft. That'd be a big loss for the Wolverines. So some football news is that Bayern fires head coach Julian Nagelsmann, and then they hire Thomas Tuchel to replace him. So that's some big soccer news that we had to talk about. And this impacts the Champions League big time. The NFL sent out a memo on an uncertified agent, as teams warned a person may be contacting clubs to persuade them to negotiate with or concerning Lamar Jackson, which is wild. Tom Brady joins the Las Vegas Aces ownership as he acquires ownership interest in the Aces after retiring from football. So that's pretty cool for Brady. There's a lot of rumors that LeBron will be involved in the Vegas NBA team. I wonder if Brady's going to do that too. LeBron and Brady owning an NBA team together would be fun. And obviously the rumored ownership that's going to that future or possible future NBA team in Vegas is the group that owns the Pittsburgh Penguins. So that's pretty neat. Odell Beckham followed Alan Lazard on Instagram, so now the Odell to the Jets rumors are heating up. Ezekiel Elliott is down to 3 teams, the Eagles, the Jets, and the Bengals. Obviously, the Jets aren't playing because of Rodgers. The Bengals because he was with Joe Burrow for a minute at Ohio State. And then the Eagles, that would be kind of funny because of the fact that DeMarco Murray went from Dallas to Philly too. So that'd be interesting if he went there. The Bengals does make sense because of the Joe Mixon situation. but we'll see. Lane Johnson gets a 1-year contract extension through 2026. 1 year, 33, and about $44.5 million extension. And $30 million guaranteed. The Patriots likely out on DeAndre Hopkins as they are not expected to trade for him, barring a substantial change in philosophy. KJ Hamler has pec surgery as he's facing a 4 to 6 month recovery after a procedure to repair partially torn pec. The Giants signed Jamison Crowder to a 1-year deal. I like that from a depth standpoint. And then the Giants met with Boston College receiver Zay Flowers, despite buzz about Jackson Smith Najiba. All right, last but not least, my best bet of the day brought to you by FanDuel. It's easy. It's going to be in the NBA. I'm not touching the Sixers because there's rumors that Embiid and Harden might not play. I'm not touching the Thunder again. They let me down last night. So I'm going to take advantage of a team that's playing against a team that has 2 big injuries in Kevin Durant and DeAndre Ayton. So I'm going to lay points. It's down to 3.5 now. So I'm going to lay a half unit on it. Thought about laying a full, but I'm going to lay a half unit on the Kings, minus 3.5 against the Suns as my best bet of the day. All right. Monday's show will be loaded. A lot of NCAA tournament talk. We have pitcher rankings as well. And obviously everything that goes on from the weekend, including American Idol. Have a great weekend, everyone.